They didn't bully him because he was cruel. They didn't bully him because he was loud. They bullied him because he was fat, and for years he thought that meant he deserved it. Until one moment changed everything. If you've ever been mocked for your body, if you've ever felt ashamed just for existing, this story is for you. It is not about revenge. It's about self-worth and the quiet moment when someone stops believing the lies they were told. Stay until the end because the lesson he learned might change the way you see yourself too. He wasn't introduced by his name. He was introduced by his body. The fat kid. That's what they called him at school. Not once, not jokingly, every single day. They commented on how he walked, how he breathed after running, how his shirt stretched a little too tight. Even teachers noticed, but said nothing. And slowly, a label replaced a person. But what hurts the most isn't always what people say out loud. It's what you start saying to yourself. At lunch, eyes followed him. Snickers. Whispers. Should you really be eating that? Save some for the rest of us. He learned to eat quickly, quietly, sometimes not at all. In photos, he stood at the back. In group work, he stayed silent. In conversations, he laughed at jokes made about him, because pretending it didn't hurt felt safer than admitting it did. Eventually, humiliation didn't shock him anymore. It felt normal. At home, no one bullied him, but the damage was already done. He avoided mirrors, wore oversized clothes, pulled his sleeves down even in the heat. Every insult replayed in his head at night. You're lazy. You're disgusting. No one will ever want you. And the scariest part? No one had to say it anymore. He said it to himself. The bullying didn't stay small. It grew. At first it was jokes. Then it became routines. Nicknames followed him from class to class. His desk was constantly accidentally bumped in quotes. Chairs were pulled back when he tried to sit. Food went missing from his lunch bag. Online it was worse. Screenshots. Group chats he wasn't supposed to see. Memes made from his photos. Strangers joining in because cruelty spreads faster when there's an audience. He reported it once. Quietly. Nervously. He was told to ignore it. To be confident. To stop letting it get to him. So he tried. He tried smiling more. He tried eating less at school. He tried changing how he dressed. He tried becoming invisible. None of it worked. Eventually, his body reacted before his mind could. Stomach aches before school. Headaches that lasted all day. Sleepless nights filled with replayed conversations and imagined comebacks he'd never say out loud. He started skipping classes. Sitting in bathroom stalls until the bell rang. Pretending to be sick just to stay home. That's when someone noticed. A teacher asked why his grades were slipping. A counselor noticed he stopped making eye contact. A family member asked why he never wanted to talk about school anymore. At first, he said nothing. Then, slowly, he opened up about everything. The jokes, the comments, the shame, the way he felt trapped inside his own body. It wasn't one conversation that fixed things. It was many awkward ones, emotional ones. Ones where he cried and felt embarrassed for crying. And in those moments, he learned something important. What was happening to him wasn't normal, and it wasn't his fault. He learned how bullying really works, how it targets difference, how it feeds on silence, how asking for help isn't weakness, but a sign of strength. The bullying didn't disappear overnight. Some people didn't change at all. But now he wasn't carrying it alone. There were plans made, support provided, adults who intervened, safe spaces he could go when things felt overwhelming. And for the first time, he had words for what he was experiencing. He wasn't too sensitive. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't the problem. He was being bullied. That understanding didn't make him confident overnight. But it planted something new, clarity. Middle school became high school. The jokes changed, but they didn't stop. Now it was sarcasm, backhanded comments, social media posts he pretended not to see. He watched others grow confident, fall in love, live freely. While he was expected to disappear, he still believed his body was a mistake. And mistakes don't deserve confidence. Then came a day that looked ordinary. A hallway. A group of people. A laugh behind him. Someone pointed. Someone joked. Same script. Different day. But something unexpected happened. For the first time, he didn't feel embarrassed. He didn't feel angry. He only felt tired. Tired of carrying shame that wasn't his. Tired from apologizing for a body he didn't choose. From letting cruelty decide his value. And right here, everything shifted. In that moment, a single thought cut through years of noise. My body is not the problem. Their cruelty is. So for the first time, he didn't react. No joke. No defense. No explanation. He stood still, then walked away. Not dramatically. Not proudly, just deliberately. That walk wasn't loud, but it was powerful because it was the first time he chose self-respect over survival. He didn't announce a transformation. There were no posts, no before and after pictures, no revenge fantasy. He started small. He stopped insulting himself, stopped punishing his body with hate. Stopped believing that suffering was required to deserve respect. Some days he worked on his health. Some days he worked on his mind. But this time it wasn't about becoming acceptable. It was about becoming kind to himself. He learned something important. Change driven by shame never lasts. Change driven by self-respect does. So he built habits quietly. Set boundaries without explanation. Not because he became better than them, but because he stopped needing their approval. And this is where the power truly shifted. Months later, they noticed. Not the weight. The presence. The way he walked in without shrinking. The way insults didn't land. The way he didn't flinch at the comebacks. How he had the perfect response to their teasing. And how he completely ignored some, saving his energy, protecting his peace, and leaving their jokes feeling awkward. Their comments fell flat. Because when someone accepts themselves, there's nothing left to attack. And that's when they regretted it, not because he fought back, but because they lost access to him. Some of the bullies were amazed by this new version of him and drew closer to see what changed. Some apologized, and some didn't care. Slowly the jokes reduced. His confidence skyrocketed as he constantly worked on building his mind, loving his body, and staying healthy. This story isn't about weight. It's about worth. It's about how bullying works. Not by breaking your body, but by convincing you to break yourself. And it's about the moment you stop believing the lie that you need to hate yourself to deserve respect. And if you're dealing with bullying right now, hear this clearly. Standing up to bullies doesn't always mean shouting back or fighting. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is refuse to accept the role they're trying to force on you. Bullies feed on reaction, on shame, on the belief that you are smaller than their words. The moment you stop giving them that power by setting boundaries, walking away with confidence, and getting support instead of suffering in silence, you begin to win. Speak to someone you trust, a teacher, a friend, a family member. You don't have to handle this alone. Protect your mental health the same way you would protect your body. And remember this, being bullied says nothing about your worth and everything about the insecurity of the person doing the bullying. You don't need to change who you are to deserve respect. You don't need to become harder, louder, or crueler. Strength can look like calm. Courage can look like choosing yourself. And standing up for yourself can start with one quiet decision. I will not carry their cruelty anymore. You matter. Exactly as you are, and no one gets to decide that for you. If you could relate with this story, remember, you're not alone. Watch more stories about quiet strength, self-worth, and transformation on this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. Because the moment you stop carrying shame that isn't yours, everything changes. This is Life's Whispered Moments. Tune in for more stories of life, love, and lessons.